That's your business now.
Yes, the countdown is on. As we all await the Supreme Court's interpretation or ruling on Monday, we want to say welcome to the Bottomline Liberia this Friday evening. Today is the 7th of March, 2025. And so, if you're celebrating your birthday today or any specific occasion like your wedding anniversary or something special, or you're just out on a free ride, we want to say welcome to the show. We're going to be here tonight. Paul, uh, myself, and Francis, we're going to be here tonight to discuss the issues, some of the issues in Liberia. Liberia got a lot of things we can discuss, but the one we able, we'll talk about it. We're talking the way we understand it. Let's put it that way. But let's say welcome to you. You joining us for the first time. This is the Bottom Line Liberia, where we discuss the issues from top to bottom, and then we give our opinion. Gentlemen, let me say welcome to all of you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
and good evening.
There will always be the clash with Paul, and all of you will go. By the time Paul can hear, or somebody is already in speech. But the problem here is Paul's internet is a bit faulty, so it's not very sharp. So he has like 2-3 seconds delayed. So whenever somebody's talking and then he begins to talk, so they always clash. But not that we're clashing with each other on the speech. But okay, let me do it. Let me make it simple. Paul, welcome, and how is your end?
Good evening, Linford, and good evening, Francis. Thank you, you guys. It's good to be about the bottom line. My end is great. The weather is getting better here. People are now start wearing t-shirts for some reason. Everybody is gearing up for the summer, but as things looking, the weather is getting a little bit good. So things are good, in good health, and I want to say thank God to be among the living. How you guys doing?
Francis?
Well, I mean, similar situation here in terms of the weather. You know, we are not wearing t-shirts yet, but at least you can wear hoodie and go out. You know, and not to wear a jacket on. So, the weather's been very kind to us. So, but life is good. Thank God for seeing another day. We are here to discuss Liberia's business. We give our own views, how we see it. Yeah, and then I'll say welcome to our viewers out there. I wish them a happy weekend.
Great. Well, talking about the weather, and I don't think there's a big difference between the weather from Francis's side and mine. Um, but surprisingly, the past 2 weeks was nasty cold. And then all of a sudden, we saw the weather report. I thought it was fun that this week that just ended today was going to be all day, we're going to be positive. And yesterday was plus 10. And, and all of a sudden, the same way the snow will come, the same way it can go, right? I have snow around my house. There's a little stairway coming on the other side of the house from the back side. We cannot use it now because of what the snow is so slippery. So we're using the other side that had no stairs. So I leave that on the ground so the snow can sit fast, right? But then all of a sudden, when I look 2 days ago, my man, I was seeing the ground small, small. I know everything going today. So I even walk on the stairway today. So it's a good news. But the bad news about it is that it's going to go to -10 sometime next week for us. But no snow, but it's only going to be cool. So it's good. And we can see, at least when you're driving along the roadside, you can see all the Coca-Cola bottle that people drink in and throw out. That's a sign for us that the snow is going. So, but all in all, it's good. And we want to say welcome to you wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Gentlemen, before we get back, we want to say next Tuesday, coming Tuesday, we're going to have we're going to have guests. I say guests because there are very many. I think 4 people, if I'm not mistaken, if all goes well. We are making arrangements. We're getting consensus all day, all night this morning. That was around 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and I was on the telephone throughout. And I've contacted 3 of those people. There are 4. Only one more remain hard to get. But I know I will get the person. But I'm going to have guests on the show on Tuesday. It will be very, very much interesting. And I know Francis wouldn't want to miss the show because it's going to be about the ANC. And Francis will want to ask all of the tough questions and, and I don't know. But it's going to be interesting. So if you're here watching us, making your business to join us on Tuesday. We'll be back after our musical break.
You're watching the review of Liberian newspapers headlines that made news during the week on the Bottomline Liberia. Please join us every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Liberian time, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 Central European time.
I'm trying to still find the music, so bear with me. I got it.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us, the people lie to us, the government betray us, so much. I said they lie. The people who us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the ball. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay, they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that the question that we ask. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us, so much. I said they lie.
You are watching the review of Liberian newspapers' headlines that made news during the week on the Bottomline Liberia. Please join us every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Liberian time, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 Central European time.
Okay, welcome back, and this is the Bottomline Liberia. As you already heard, we'll be reviewing some of the Liberian newspapers that brought major headlines to us during the week under review. Today is Friday, the 7th of March, 2025. In case you're celebrating any occasion, I want to say welcome, happy birthday, happy independence, or whatever it is, or not independence, or anniversary. Whatever it is that you are celebrating, we want to be a part of your celebration. Stay with us. Paul, the Lord Children place in England, Francis Mensah in Sweden, and I am in Norway. My name is Linford Goa. Paul, welcome again. Tell us what you have on the plate from the international side, because normally we like to, look at the international news first, and then we end it up home. But no, we do the opposite, right? They say charity begins at home and ends abroad, but we start from abroad and end at home, because if you travel all around the world, the last place you go that you're home, according to Prince Nico. Paul, I don't know if Paul is hearing me, but Francis, you follow international news like I do.
Yeah, on the international.
Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, so good evening and good evening to our viewers. If you guys can hear me, my system might be everything, and on the international news, it's just the same old thing with what is happening in the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. But Europe seems to be the most dominant at the moment, because the situation in Ukraine, it has taken another dimension that Donald Trump decided to suspend information sharing with the Ukrainians. So the Russians now have taken advantage over that. This morning, they did some massive attack on most of the towns in Ukraine. And later on this evening, Donald Trump wrote that he's going to put sanction on Russia for the kind of attack they go on full blast. But last beginning of this week, Lavrov, the foreign minister for Russia, have said something last Sunday, the Europeans were in the UK to come up with their own framework of the peace talk. And they want to have boots on the ground. But the Russians now are telling them it's not going to happen because they are part of this fight. So that's not going to happen. So this is where we're heading now. It's not going to happen. The foreign minister said that clear cut that they already involved. So their involvement is not a peace talk. So that's not going to happen. But I got a 5-minute video clip, a few things here, and then before we get to the labyrinthine, just for our listeners, there's information out there that people need to follow. So if time may permit me see if I can play this. This thing is about, I think it's under 5 minutes, but it's for you for US. Listen to this.
What sort of defense apparatus does Europe have at the moment? Where does the European military stand? How does it compare to the United States of America, and can Europe protect itself without American support? Our next report tells you.
The split between the US and its European allies is widening. Now, Europe faces an important stress test amid a sea of questions. What if the US opts out of NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization? What if the Trump administration pulls out US troops? Where does Europe stand when it is alone? And how does it compare to the US militarily? Let's start with the basics. In terms of population, Europe's 742 million citizens significantly outnumber America's 340 million. But Europe's combined economy is similar to that of the US, while its defense spending is merely a fraction of America's. The US is the world's largest military spender, with an expenditure of about $968 billion last year. Meanwhile, European NATO members collectively spent $457 billion on defense. So, unsurprisingly, Europe wants to pick up the tab.
We are in an era of rearmament. And Europe is ready to massively boost its defense spending, both to respond to the short-term urgency to act and to support Ukraine, but also to address the long-term need to take on more responsibility for our own European security.
This is Ursula von der Leyen, the President of the European Commission. She has set out a vague proposal to ramp up military spending by as much as 800 billion euros, or some $843 billion. It sounds grand, but this amount will be spread over 4 years. And it's only possible if every European Union member pitches in. So at this point, this treasure chest is mostly a fantasy, and Europe has other urgent problems. First, that of troops. Since the end of the Second World War, US forces have been stationed in and deployed to Europe. Today, it stands at nearly 84,000. But in total, America has a whopping 1.3 million active personnel. This is roughly equivalent to all European countries combined, which stand at 1.47 million. So if the US decides to pull out its troops from Europe, Europe would need at least 300,000 more troops for self-defense to compensate for the absence and generate credible deterrence. But simply raising the troops is not enough. This brings us to the second problem. Europe heavily relies on Washington for its defense needs. This over-dependence for decades has left Europe weak. To deter a hypothetical attack from Russia, apart from additional troops, Europe would need 1,400 tanks, 2,000 infantry fighting vehicles, and 700 artillery pieces. But this is more than the current combat power of French, German, Italian, and British forces combined. This is according to a study by the Bruegel think tank and the Kiel Institute. While this is a hypothetical scenario, here is the reality check. The US has 11 active aircraft carriers, while Europe has 7. The US has more than 4,000 aircraft and 2,000 helicopters, while European armies have about 1,000 aircraft and 500 helicopters. If you dig deeper, the cracks widen. Look at the advanced multi-role fighter jets. Roughly around 600 Eurofighter Typhoons, 300 Swedish JAS 39 Gripens, and 260 French Rafale jets have been built over the last 25 years or so. These are all 4.5 plus generation jets. Meanwhile, the US has produced around 1,100 of the world's most advanced 5th generation F-35 Lightning II stealth fighters and 195 of the same generation F-22 Raptors over the past decade. There is no European substitute for the F-35 yet. However, the jets remain a crucial component of their defense. Apart from the hardware, Europe cannot match up to America's high-tech prowess, including spy planes, radar jammers, and military specialists. So no matter how you look at it, Europe has ample reason to adopt a more resolute stance and bolster its military. Because throughout the international security landscape, there is an acute awareness that the European nervousness is not without.
So that's a little bit of information. This is why the Europeans I keep calling they need America, because without America, they cannot match Russia. So they need America. And Donald Trump knows that. That's why he's calling a bluff. Guys, back to you.
I want Francis to come in.
The first, I don't know where that Indian anti-European propagandist uh, 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 publication came about. Europe has a
provided sources, though. You are telling you sources.
I don't know what Paul keep getting that Indians backed him from, as a pro-Russian supporter.
No, but they never provided sources. The man, so you got to go check the sources he gave.
Yeah, I mean, if you check deeper, there'll be some rebuttal to what he just said. I mean, what she just read. I mean, the only thing I have to say is that I cannot rely on that video. It is a pro-Russian sponsored video. As India is backing. That's an Indian media propaganda. So yeah. But in reality is that look, in the event of any kind of attack from Russia on European countries, it will be a hard-fought war. I mean, the both sides will sustain heavy casualties, and France has its own what you call it nuclear weapon as well as the United Kingdom. Yeah, so these are the superpowers of no for Western Europe. It's a fact that Western Europe have over the years been heavily reliant on America. I don't know why. America fooled them, so to speak. Why America was building her military and the Europeans supporting them, they just allow themselves to live bad and be vulnerable in terms of these kind of current situation. They cannot do anything more than that now. They can. So yeah, that's my thought on that.
Okay, and here comes the bomb from my side. Here comes the cold bomb from my side. Look, I will tell you one thing. Maybe people would think that I'm trying to be biased because, this Liberian connection to America, where all of us Liberians, somewhere deep down in our mind, it has been planted that we kind of American sympathizers or we are Americans. Let me put it that way. To the point where America influences the food we eat, the clothes we wear, the way we talk, the way we act. If you live in Liberia as a young boy and you wear a big interest with a nice nigga and walking with big coaching, then you and if you so America has just influenced us. So as Liberian, when I talk, probably people will say I'm being biased. But let me tell you, America is the greatest country on the face of the earth. And not that God made them the greatest, but they created that scene, that condition to make them great. Now, what am I saying? They're making Mercedes Benz right here in Germany. We're driving it all around here in Europe. Go to America and see Mercedes Benz and look at the European Mercedes Benz. Quite different. Go and see Volkswagen. Everything is different. They add value to all of their things to the point where they add value to their human beings. They add value to the language that they speak. They add value to the currency that they have. Now, let me drill you through. America is the United States of America, right? The United States. When things are united, they hold together. Show me one country in the world that is united like the United States of America. That got one language, one economic interest, one political interest, one foreign policy. Just show me one country that is like that. Russia is trying, but Russia is not a conglomerate. Even though Russia has some countries under its arm during the Soviet Union rule, and that's why America made sure that disband, they will dismantle that Soviet Union and break all the small countries apart, and they did it successfully. That's how you got these small countries around here fighting to be independent, and still they're not independent. The fellow Ukraine we're talking about, they were still, even until now, they still live under Russian interest. Okay, now come to our Europe here, where we say European Union. Where is the Union? Great Britain is a strong member of the, or strong founder of the EU. France, Italy, all the countries, what do they do? You go to Italy, you speak French. I mean, or Italian. You go to France, you speak French. You go to England, you speak English. You go to where in Germany, you speak German. They say EU, one currency, euro. How many of them using the euro? You go to England, you're using pound sterling. So there is no. So all that thing you're talking about, for instance, that France got their superpower. If Russia start to attack, if one bomb, God forbid, one bomb drops in France, France is going to defend its citizens. They're not coming to go fight for Norway. They're not going to fight for you because what, they do not have that one interest. Okay, yeah, they are fighting hard to collect money to put together. Anybody who listened to that meeting, that interview, when they were having, I listened to the whole thing. I said, there were one guy, I think the guy from Finland, the guy was making sense because they were Zelensky that they trying to help. The man is saying that he wants the war to end. But when you listen to other European countries, they are like saying, okay, we want to carry boots on the ground. And putting boots on the ground, they're not talking about peacemakers or peacekeepers. They're talking about fighting force. When you get in a military situation, when you put boots on the ground, that means you're going to fight. So the mayor, you're helping the mayor say we want to make peace. Then you'll say you're collecting money to, and if anything happens, so how many Estonia, I don't know what they're using in Estonia, how many of that money, how much of that money you will collect to be equal to what Germany will provide? Okay, now you got one small country, I know where, Iceland or some country. I think Iceland, they didn't get army. They didn't get army. What can they provide? You see, so let me tell you, America, like Francis said, America food, Europe, not that America food there, but America is smart. They will come to your country and say, depend on us. Don't make yourself self-sufficient, depend on us. Okay, we get something called NATO. So be a part of it. Then when anything happens, we'll fight for you. That's pure lie. It is to protect their own interests. But European countries have not been following. And that's why Ukraine is suffering today. But I hope this war will teach the rest of the European countries. Now, you know, the other day when I listened to that interview, that press conference they had, then somebody was saying about NATO. So who is NATO and who established NATO? It was America. It's America's interest. Okay? So America only comes to Europe and say, "Look, listen, I got one big gorilla on the other side, which is Russia. So your European country, you can't join me. Now for something called NATO. So that when they may want to fight, I can use all the fighting. That's it. Okay? So I mean that's my take on it. But I think European countries are not united. One. Number two, they don't have the military power. Look at Norway. Look at Norway. How many what we get? Eh? You see the beginning they wear cologne. When they pass through them, you can smell a cologne for you 10 miles away. Okay? That's what I mean there. I want to, man.
So Linford, let me, Francis, I lived in Ukraine for a good number of years. That's what I started my Western education in Ukraine. And it's a place that I know well. And it just helped my feeling that Ukrainians, when they pick some comedian to lead them, that very immature, that led this country to war. So when you say pro-Russia, I'm not pro-Russia. I didn't want that war to start. But the fact is, what you say the inner.
I didn't say you pro-Russia. I said that inner video is pro-Russian. I didn't say you.
No, but listen, the Western media will not give you accuracy, so you have to do compare and contrast. That's the thing. And these guys give you evidence. They're telling you that without America, Europe is nothing because they don't have it. Now, Britain came out, said they're going to top up their defense spending. The young people here refuse to join the army, or those they have nuke, but they don't have the manpower. The same way with France. People not joining, and they're not paying, they're not advanced. So So the two countries that actually in it that advanced is those two countries. That's why you see Ukraine been relying heavily on the information America been providing. And that information have been helping them. NATO have been on the ground with the Ukraine, helping them with the fight. But coming of this crazy Donald Trump that decided to put things on hold is left Europe now in disarray. And they don't have a one-way Euro catch up. So they can make all the noise, say, oh, we'll put boots on the ground, but with all America, we can't do it. So that Indian, pro-Indian video that you talk about, I mean, pro-Russian Indian you talk about, they give him facts that it's the reality. Without America, the so-called NATO country in Europe cannot match Russia. And that is the truth.
In fact, just to add to what Paul said, you listen to the guy. Just America's military spending alone, all the past year. American military spending alone all the past year. Just 1 year, their budget is more than all of Europe put together. Look at their aircraft carriers. And in war, no. And let me tell you, the war we're talking about now, if there should be any war, real scale, full-scale war, what you talking about international warfare, you don't need him to be on the ground, sir. Because one crazy guy just sitting somewhere playing with a computer. So America got all of that. And guess what they did? They came to the same European countries and other countries around the world and got that technology. And got that technology. We on international media or international platform, we can say some of these things. But what we know, brother, forget it. I'll tell you something. I will tell you that America has solidified its position. And that's why they go around the world influencing people. America has solidified its position. Tell me one country in Europe that have gone anywhere to go overthrow any president, any country president. None. America does it. How many countries America colonized in Africa? None. Besides Liberia, not even colonized. Okay, but how many countries Europe colonized in Africa? Almost all of Africa. And what influence do they have them more than America? Almost zero. Okay, so come on, Burkina Faso or Mali, they told all the French troops to leave. They gave a deadline, they were leaving. You can't tell American troops in Liberia you'll leave tomorrow and they leave. No, because when they leave, you collapse. So you see, Europe is just sitting on a chicken that lay air, is sitting on a rotting air thing and say, oh, hash. Nothing here. I'm telling Sonny, because they have been so dependent on America to the point where America can't tell and say, let's form something called NATO.
Yeah, I agree with you on that fact. Let me just interrupt you a little bit. I agree with you when you said that Europe it's heavily reliant on America and the country that Burkina Faso told the French to leave. I mean, the Europeans, our approach to conflict is not fire for fire. European love that consensus. You just your country. You get a big piece of cake. Yeah, that small tiny piece of cake. Just for you, I don't know eat it. As another Norwegian beside you, you will call it peace. So the people love consensus. That the reason why they find themselves, unlike Americans who are more, forceful, the kind of boastful and robust about themselves. I think that's the problem by nature by the Europeans. I think the war for Hitler, I think it subdued it. I think so. It came them in.
If anybody should be hostile, if anybody should be hostile and come to a war situation or conflict, it should be the European, because they saw even the American too had civil war, which was very brutal. But Europe, they just came from war. We're talking about 1944, 1945. Recently.
But Europeans are timid. They are very timid people across Europe.
Y'all stop betting here. European love dying. After every 100 years, they have to kill each other. It's history. In Sweden, there you see the movement of this person conquer this person. It's all over Europe. They just love killing each other. So after every 100 years, they have to die. You hear about Napoleon, Alexander the Great, all of these people. Every European nation, you see military person who conquer this person, who don't they. That's their way of life. So that thing
Yeah,
that
that's
happened in
true.
Ukraine, they could have gone and said, let be peace. Because they love dying, so they want the fight to continue. That's all. After 100 years, the people got to die. That is European history. You cannot take it from them. And then the other group that suffer under them here, they went across the Atlantic called that say United States. They came from it. They're the same people. They just full of violence. So what is happening is just the reality of this European life.
Can you imagine, Paul?
Putin cannot get away.
It's
He
true
cannot
talking,
conquer
Paul.
our person.
It's true you're talking. I look at Australia.
That's
Australia is
the
a
fact.
continent. How many times we heard people fighting war in Australia? Since I was born, I've been doing history. I never heard about war in Australia. And Australians, the history that I know, not much of it, but Australians were supposed to be the criminals that were in Great Britain those days. That people didn't want. It was our version of Beleala. They took all the narco criminals and sent them there because they were on an island. And you know how I got to know when Prince was it who got married at William, and what the first one that William. When William was getting married, at the time I was staying in the UK. That morning we were on campus. Yeah, and our campus is in the middle of two high streets, and they had a Wawa screen there, so I went watching it and doing interview with people in Australia about how they feel about the wedding. And this particular girl from Australia, she made a statement. She said, "Well, we just have to be happy whether we like it or not. We are part of the Commonwealth, as they call us. But our history tells, and this is how I got to know." She said, "Our history tells us that." We were supposed to be bad people. Our great-great-grandparents were criminals, so they isolated them on this island, and that's how we found ourselves there. But they still hold on to us, and everything they do, they want us to be part of it. So we are happy too. Then I said, hey. So you see, Australia, I don't know. Maybe you guys can prove me wrong, but I never heard that somebody fought war in Australia. No, I don't know. Maybe.
No, but Australia had their own thing. The indigenous people, the Aboriginal, like the British people.
Yeah, that is common. That is common because
the British people went there and subdued the people, killed them people. They were massacred in large numbers. So the people,
that's their conquering. Where they do the kill.
Yeah, it's the people there. But
but it wasn't the Australian people fighting the people they carried there. It was the people who carried people there who were forcing the indigenous to accept the people. The same way they came to Africa, they say one David Livingstone discovered Lake Victoria. When they were there already, then he had people carry him in a hammer to go discover it. Can you imagine? So they will come and get on the land and say, His Majesty or Her Majesty sent me here to come and take over your. That's what they were doing.
Yeah.
So, Linford, before we transition, you see what the Europeans are doing? They're putting money together to build big weapons. Guess what? Our people in Africa not even thinking.
No.
You have everything. How can you protect yourself? We're not thinking of that. These guys are spending money to build everything. They're moving. And then when they're ready, they turn back to us. They control us. But our people sitting down, not even thinking that the situation now, because America have moved behind Europe talking about bringing the huge wealth together to reach that level. But our brothers and sisters in Africa sitting and waiting for aid from here. And then if they can't give you aid, they carry the same gun to conquer you. That what they do with Australia and other places. This is
our people in Africa. They go into church.
I don't know, but it's just to tell you.
They go into church.
Yes,
I know, right?
Yeah,
yeah. They standing in the church and praying. Oh God.
Anyway,
can you imagine?
Let's transition. guys,
can,
I
can you
I
imagine, just for transition, can you imagine that a relative of mine will call me to pay a debt that he owes, and then he say, hey, God, thank you. Thank you that he had called me, that he think I will pay the debt. So when I send that money, then I go and bless him. So, but me, I will send the money. God and give me money. I wait for him. But when I send it to him, God, you see the mentality of our people. But like you said, Paul, Africa, the reason why, and maybe if God, there is God, and God, even they divided this thing here, God gave us all of the resources and did not give us the knowledge. Because imagine, Paul and Francis, that God had given us all of these resources, right? And turn around and give us the sharp knowledge to manage them. Where the Europeans will be? Tell me, where they will be? They will be zero. So God divided, even they gave us all the resources and gave the knowledge to the people that they will come and take your in England. Look, go on the ground, go to the tube and see the
man,
mass.
they could not get no knowledge. It's just that our people so damn corrupt that yeah, it's just a damn corruption of our people. Don't care because they people get no knowledge compared to us. That's the fact. We just wicked set of people, wicked on ourselves. But these people, they will love themselves, they will kill each other, they will embrace each other. But our side, we don't do it. We just good for nothing people from that planet. Friends, I don't know where y'all take before transition.
Well, you guys have said it all. There's no need to compare Europeans and Africans. The people follow everything. The rule of law, they follow the law. Nobody is bigger than the law. They care about the people, our leaders. They take the money for themselves in the cycle. So if Africa have followed these people for specifically Liberia, where we say 18, when our GDP, and I don't know why we're talking about GDP per household. It's not physical cash people have, and the money that you divide among the people. So while we're talking about how we divide money among our people, theoretically, practically, the Japanese people, they were planning how to get the money the people practically everybody in the poor pockets. While we're talking about theory, economic
Absolutely.
theory, so where we are, I mean, the countries look, let them move forward, man. Africa, our problem, we have to talk. We are our own problems. We got more money, we got more resources, we got more educated, educated people. They got a good amount of PhD in Nigeria as compared to Sweden. How many PhD Nigerians got as compared to a country like Sweden?
Yeah.
Sweden,
But look at this. The people, the people went to Egypt and took the science. The pyramid, these are engineering. They took it from there and they brought it here and utilized it. But who started all those things, we become beggars. It just saddens me, man. That's Africa for us. Anyway, guys, let's transition. And before we move to the newspaper article, I came across this, and y'all would love this. And friends say, I think you'll love it more. Liberia police and Pempe rather fighting. Man, what kind of country is Liberia? Y'all talk to me. This is
When I came to Europe, I first landed in Sweden, right? I was in Sweden for almost 2 years. And then I started to see different kind of police. Number one, the police were healthy and huge, big guys. The way they dress, they moving in cars. They're not walking on the street corner. Our men go stand to one street corner and start stopping taxi. So I saw different type of police. And guess what? I was living in a place like a park area, isolated area. In this area, we can walk a few kilometers before come to city center. And we have all the little shortcuts instead of passing the regular main street, which is longer. So I'm coming between the horses. I think I still want to be there at this place. It's a kind of diplomatic enclave somewhere in Malmo. And my man, Paul, the thing I'm telling you, I brought out with the police garden. But I think Francis know that group. That special police, they're not the ordinary police guy driving around. No guy get something to achieve, my man. I said, I saw the garden. I know I was just walking between the horse, then do one operation. Now, borrow with them. It's like I want to turn around to start moving. I saw the guy. I said, yeah. When they say real police, that is the way the guy dressed. You see the guy alone. They cannot. So you think that kind of police, somebody will go face blow in front of him? They seem to be talking no law and order. And yeah, people say people don't respect the police in Liberia. It's the way the police carries itself. So here, I'm not afraid of the police here, like the police in America or the police in Liberia. The police in Liberia will attack you to fight, but not here. The police here can stop. Many times the police stop me. I said, I'm talking to him. He tell me I put my glass on. I play my music. Say, look, music. I say, for I say, I want to listen to my music. You talk to me, I hear you. Because I know the guys they are straight. They will do their job, but they are not violent. In fact, our police only started carrying arms when the stupid guy did it in 2011. Other than that, they don't carry that arm in their car. Okay? So the way the police conduct itself, and when the police come to you here, they're not just coming useful unless you put in your force. And I don't see, that maybe in the city it happens where the police will come, and invade, But if the police will come to your house, they will call you first. I remember 2 years ago, I was driving. I went to work early in the morning. I was speeding. So somebody reported me to the police, and I was right in their head. By the time I was turning, because they already put my information in the car and they saw my address, so they were waiting for me. So when the street corner, by the time I'm paying from the main road to come, I saw the two guys driving behind me in the private car. They stopped. So I was joking with them. I said, well, you got that police? Why are you driving private car? They said, well, you can see you're in the police uniform. Can you imagine? And we talk peacefully. They asked me, oh, you're speeding. I explained to them, and they said, okay, but we check your record. We not see that, you don't got any. But imagine a Liberian police coming, and they tell say they know during the first thing they say, I'll put the man in handcuff. You see, the police, they're throwing PT with the man and telling the other policeman to take a motor back. That are interest. So, the way the police carries itself in Liberia, how many people can respect them. Just last week, we were talking the same thing on the show here. Where something happened when you call the police will rather become the target for the people in the community. They start chasing the police away because the police have gone beyond their scope of operation. They made themselves vulnerable to the society.
I think they're embarrassing, my brother. I ain't gonna say I got policeman.
Seriously?
I mean, you able to lift your hand up against police officer. Yeah, somebody lift your hand up. You got testing. Then lift your hand up. You either you'll be electrocuted or you'll
But
be
man,
dead.
let me show that. Let me play the thing again. Let me play this one more time.
Let me tell you one thing.
The man arrested it by
it labor our trained men who know how to fight. That policeman will be a beating guy. Because the policeman yeah. No, and that's why when I was in Liberia, I made sure I did all my grown-up ball team. I made sure I was in the AFL Taekwondo club. Okay? They see Brani Samoka, where you see defense minister. They were with Master Lee and we were with the AFL. Okay, we all fought together. Me and Brani Samoka then we went to Aroko for some tournament. Okay, so That's why you prepare yourself. I put in there. He wouldn't stay in front of me those days. I'll just say, well, in 1 minute. Yeah, he done it now. It is all in 1 minute. But you see, all these things is not called for. The Francis said, in fact, Paul, you in the UK, your police, the way they move on operation, you think somebody will go say fighting the police? You'll be finished. You'll be
Yeah,
finished.
man. Let move on. Let move on, guys.
Yeah, man.
Let
Let's
move
go.
on. On Monday, I know. Let me start with this one here, guys. This is called a D-Day on Monday. Who is the real speaker? The Supreme Court will let us know on Monday. The bit of information. Guys, Francis,
Well,
Francis, the D-Day is on Monday.
yeah. What are you drinking on, man?
No, man, the man, Google.
Uh, Look, man.
Um,
Look, I don't know what Supreme Court going to say now. Are they going to somersault? Or are they coming up plain and simple in simple terms that look, this is what we say. I mean, it could be interpreted the same way again. They will tell the people to go back, to go and settle their case themselves. So I just don't know what will happen. Yeah, so I mean, I can't say much until I know I hear from the Supreme Court on Monday.
well, I'm not too sure. Like
So
Francis said, I'm not too
before
sure.
Linford comes in, I think what the Supreme Court going to say. This is what the Supreme Court going to say on Monday. We had this. This is what the Supreme Court going to say on Monday. You remember the guy? They just in chamber what he said. Why the boycotted the Sona. This is exactly what they're going to say on Monday.
You think
That's what they're
so?
going to say. His interpretation. That's what's going to happen on Monday. Linford, your thought.
Yeah. Until now, like Francis said, I don't know what to say, and I don't know how to preempt the the way the Supreme Court will come out. Whether they will say, we told you already that everything that you guys did was ultra virus, meaning it was unlawful. You'll go back, like we said before, you'll go back and do it properly. And we've gone beyond that point. It's been a few months since they made that decision, and a lot of things have happened. President has given his State of the Nation address on Okun. The budget have been presided over by Kun. Budget hearing everything. Kun have been invited to Ghana for inauguration. Kun have traveled with the president. So many things are happening. Okay, so if the Supreme Court says they still stand by their decision that it was ultra virus, that they should go back and do it properly. So are they? Is the House of Representatives going to undo all of what they have done on Kun? Now, but the biggest question here is: will Kun agree to go back to have elections according to their own rule, to call Fonatikova in the chambers and post Fonatikova scene in front of him for Kofa to be able to defend his scene, and then after that they can go to election and win? Is it possible? So it's a lot of log jam. I don't think in a wisdom of Kun, he wants to take that risk. Even though they say that they have a number, but who knows? If they go back to status quo ante, can he gain that number of vote? So it's a slippery sticky thing, So we don't know, but let's wait and hear what the Supreme Court will say, because I don't think. I think Kofa. I mean, Okun has come a long way. I don't think you want to gamble anything. Trust me. You see,
But
Thomas
so
Pala. Thomas
so
Pala was very wise when that voting thinking about. He knew that he couldn't resign his position as deputy to go run. So he said, "Let's get high election," because he knew you were not too sure. So I did he meeting the deputy post and say, "Okay, you can hire election. Who will elect? I'll be deputy to that person." So I'm not sure that with all these things that have happened on a Kun and he has seen the enjoyment in that thing. I don't think he want to go sit down and say, "I'll go vote." So everything turn against him. Where will you go? So let's wait and see.
so this is where Eddie Johnson said the ruling had everybody confused. It was ambiguous because they didn't say it the way they meant to say it. And we know lately that the Supreme Court have been on fire. Remember, I think it was Foley family who called Justice Gbese, said that liquor talk.
Like use.
So they liquor talk now that what that King Jews said that King Jew talk. So the King Jew talk now is sitting on that full bench, and they will be determining what happened because what the King Jew said that Kofa, you are the speaker, but you don't have the number. The other man who you what the word yeah, well, before first come, the other man, the renegade speaker, he have the number, but he not speaker. So y'all go by and do the same thing. They will stick with their words, they will stand by it, and this is where now it become problem that it will give Fanatic Kofa the urge that Richard Kuhn and his people will have to go back in chamber and do the right thing that every Liberian man calling from. You say you have the numbers, you have 50%, go in chamber, make your argument why you don't want this guy, voting out, and then you have proper election. A Kuhn who have the numbers will voting in. Simple. And that's the funny. So Richard Kuhn, if I were him,
No, Paul. Let me agree with you, but I would say no. Also, it's easy for the Supreme Court to render that decision. It's very easy. Like Sunday morning, okay, like the day before. But is Kofa going to get a cooperation, or will the majority group want to go back to session? To the things I told you, Kofa is not. I mean, Okun is not going to take that risk. So we'll come back to square one, to where we are. Okay, the Supreme Court will rule, and like we have been saying, the Supreme Court will say the same thing. You'll go back, but the guy said no. We have already had our election. You Supreme Court, you can't tell what to do. That's just because the Supreme Court does not have that, that executive power or that executive power. Let me put it this way: that they will say, okay, we'll force her to go. No, okay. There is no law that can compare.
They will not force them. No, Lifa, the Supreme Court cannot force them. But then what happened now? This is where it becomes dangerous for Kuhn, Speaker Kuhn. Why am I saying this? It's the popular sentiment that been involved here say you have not done the right thing. And a Supreme Court rule say this is where you need to do. This was the thing. And me, there will be honor pressure to do the right thing. You cannot say, oh, you've been doing it illegally for long. This is where it comes because the people say the Supreme Court confused everybody. So now the Supreme Court going to come out and make it very simple that it will not confuse anyone to say that Latin word you see antiviral or whatever virus or what. But this one be plain simple English that the layman may understand. So now when we all understand what the Supreme Court meant, then what become a Kuhn? That's the question.
Okay, I don't know what Francis will say about this one, but let me again re-emphasize that there is no way that you can force Kuhn and his group to go because the guys are quoting their law. They are saying that our law say it's only us who can elect our speaker, and we've gone and elected him.
Agreed.
So the Supreme Court can come with that. So the only way that these people can be under pressure is from the citizens, the people who elected them to that house. But if we say we're leaving we leaving it with Supreme Court ruling. No, Supreme Court will get a ruling and go sit down.
So, but then you have the other group there. You have the other group, I don't know, 29 or 28 or 27. You have another huge group that say, let's do the right thing. So this is not, it's not any, my brother. So this is where we are. So now,
but that's what I said, that we'll come back to the same area where we are now. We'll come back to square one with the same confusion. There's no, that the Supreme Court decision will not change anything. Okay. They will not tell them what to do, but they will be recalcitrant. They will say, no, we're not going there. Supreme Court, you can't tell what to do. We finish doing what we need to do. Then we'll come back to the same square one.
So the noise continue.
Yeah, the only people who can influence, no, if the country, the district that Kun come from, Kun people say, okay, we march into the capital, we're going to say we declare confidence, no vote of confidence in you, or vote of no confidence in you. We don't want anyone to be our representative. Case closed. Okay? It's only the citizens at this time who can put the whole thing here to sleep. It's not no Supreme Court decision. The Supreme Court, of course, will tell them what to do according to the law. That's it. Finish. But they will say no. You tell me, say, my man, you're not supposed to walk on the road. The law said, do not walk in the middle of the road. I say, no, I'll walk there. Okay? I'll walk there. So what the law will do, the law said, do not walk there. I say, I'll walk there. That's a decision. I'll walk there. Then my consequence now is what I'm ready to face if I walk there. So we'll come back to the same scenario to where we are now, where you have the majority and the minority bloc. Okay? So we're waiting for the Supreme Court decision, though. That's what they'll do it. They have done it before, they'll do it. But whether people will obey it is the next thing that we'll be looking at.
Look, I will tell you guys something. We'll come back here on Tuesday and discuss this. What the Supreme Court said the first time, they're going to say it again the second time. They will say it the third time. They will say it the fourth time. Regardless who thought, AJ said he's not a lawyer. She can have a personal view. The public can have a view. They could interpret the way they want to interpret it. And the how will come back. They'll come back with the same the same interpretation again, the same interpretation again. They do not use antivirus. They will just see what you guys did. Both sides, both sides were wrong in a sense.
So first, let me ask you. You have the justice minister who interpreted the Supreme Court ruling that the government one way. It is Supreme Court say otherwise that the justice minister lied. Can Supreme Court hold that justice minister into contempt for misinforming the public of the Supreme Court ruling?
No. Yeah, we cannot say anything now that they can hold in contempt. Until the ruling,
just in case they said that the ruling was wrong,
hypothetically, they got the authority to do so. But Africa being Africa, there are a lot of things involved. Your justice minister, in a way, can influence your paradigm, your salary delay, all kind of stuff. You never be go against the government. So the way it is, people don't want to go against the government. So, I don't want to waste our time on it. But all those things are just they're sensationalizing for us to trick up public sentiment. The boss will come and say the same thing. Jesus can't say he thought it may not change because they don't want no bad out of the public. They got both sides there. They want to be neutral in the middle. That's what to do.
Yeah, but like I said, if there was a way that the Supreme Court can make a ruling and then enforce that ruling and compare anybody to do it, then they will say, okay, then we the public now will say, okay, yes, we hope you're on the Supreme Court decision. But the Supreme Court will make a decision and just tell us, this is what you're supposed to do. It's just your father baptizing for your clothes and say, where? You say, you want where? So what you do? You're not grabbing and forcing on you.
Exactly. It's good that you say now we got the few people out there, the bulk of our people out there think the Supreme Court can I'm Russell the guy and that no, hey, This is what we say, and you must do it. And the guys will not do. Guys will take the simple maintain that, hey, we are an independent body. We respect your ruling, but I mean, we got our own rule of law, our own operation. So, Paul, let's move forward. Nothing gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. So, but anyway, you're right, Francis. It's just that it's going to be noisy and noisy
Mhm.
and noisy from Monday. So, it's just going to be very, very noisy. And whenever I said it before on the show, when a place or country is noisy, the leadership of that country, they don't govern well. And this is not a good thing if the place become noisy. If this thing, if the Supreme Court made it clear on Monday, if people decide to do the same thing, it will be noisy. And when place is noisy, you don't govern well. So United
Yeah,
Party,
but
I think they should do something.
who determines if they are governing well? Is the leadership. The leadership, whether people
Yeah, but
fighting and things.
it's the leadership that brought upon themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, but
If they have no reg going up,
yeah, but the question is, who will determine whether they are governing well or not? They are satisfied with what they're doing. So
no.
anybody can
What I'm
fight.
saying, for, yeah, if you study in a room and you study down, a lot of kids causing noise. You're studying, you're not concentrating on what you're studying. And this is what's going to happen with the Joseph Burger government. As long as that noise is in our house, that everyday yo-yo is not good for your government. And that's how I see it. So they need to do something starting from Monday. That's my
Well,
point.
we'll wait to see what they'll do. For me, I've been waiting. I've been waiting all the time. I've been opting that Kofa will, that Kun and his crew will go by and let it do what the Supreme Court said. But like I said, look at the time lapse. Look at the time lapse. All the things that happened. Kun will not take any gamble and say, "No, listen, let me go and go sit down where they know." His own people will say, "Oh, they may not sure." So they will hold on to because they already functioning. The guys can go and they having session where they finish moving Kufa from the office. They now break the office door and move. Or, so it's
You
not proper. It's not
I
proper,
mean,
but
and let me just say
something
something
not
before.
right, it's just not right.
Let me just say something before we move on. That the majority will never decrease.
the, the
Why?
number will not grow.
Yeah, it will not dwindle. It will never be what it is, and the
So will
minority
there
will
be
be what
noises?
it is. And then what will happen? So will there be on this thing? So even to go back to the chamber, if the state do not have that number, required number, it will just be what it is, be a stalemate. Also, the
But
Supreme.
that, Francis, this is interesting part. This guy decided to take this other guy on a white ballot. Nobody challenged him. But if these people decide say, okay, Kofa after the court ruling say I resigning, but to resign, we must go back. Let's have proper election because other people will
You
be
can't
have
resign. Have
interest.
your condition. You can't get.
Oh no, the minority black they there. That's why they in court. So you
Uh,
cannot exclude the minority black. They have a
we
say in
can't. I
this
know we
thing.
can't do that. But even if we go back and they assume holding all your argument constant, that they go back and you have an election. The 49 or 48 people will still be there for the 8 people.
I agree.
Because
So
they
that's what I
all
mean. So
enjoy they all enjoy some kind of benefit now. They all on committees. They all doing all kind of things now. So
Okay, okay, Francis.
in favor,
yeah.
So why you can't go?
Kofa resign. Fanatic Kofa resign. The minority black say we going. Let's go and do a proper. Supreme Court made recommendation. You go and do a proper. I
They
just
bother
see.
will not do it.
Let's do a proper.
They bother
They
will
will not
not
do
do
it.
it. They will not go anywhere.
The reason they will not do it is simple
Wow.
because they know they didn't do it properly in the first place. Everybody is not satisfied with them. So if they will not take that chance.
Don't take
No,
it.
even me here, if you came here that today, they say you can't do it. Let him for run. I'm going cool because he didn't do it properly. So he will say no. Even though I not seen the mayor in the Hoya before, but I agree. The Buffalo takes power over there. It's not boss. Not boss, my man.
And the thing,
So the boy get a number.
the thing is, they did it with an
Before the guy
intent.
has the number.
Yes.
Because if it was not done with an intent, they would have gone back. The thing has been, they've been harboring on the mind. It's premeditated. Because the first time he attempted to hijack it, I mean, just the first time they attempted to hijack our stuff, then he said, I mean, they thought they would have elections. He said, "Oh no, I mean, they brought out this guy, his citizenship, he crime record in America. All of a sudden, Richard couldn't drop it. So you know, I mean, they're not going to pursue that, that kind of politics. So they allowed the man to win. But it was a mistake. They thought they would have won. So a man won now, so they can't stand it, so they gotta look for something. And they went hijack the whole process.
And one of the reasons why they wouldn't want to take that chance, the executive has spent a lot of money on them. So the president will get me and ask someone that we look at him. He say, "Oh, so you want to go high election?" So man, they think it would just be nothing. If our part of the minority group, we just say, okay, send people here, agree, we are somewhere here. Every day you'll go to session when they touch on they have your control, your hala there, your cause trouble, your midnight, your walk out. When they say John Brown president, Peter Brown president, when they put anything on the door, your mid flower inside, your mid flower. If you want to tell people, you'll go home. You'll be doing it. Somebody will get concerned.
No, but the people got the law, the people got the government, they got the enforcement arm on the side.
Oh, but they can't do nothing. They will not put your outside. Let me
tell you one thing. Let me tell you something, bro. Listen, we shouldn't act that we are so ignorant of the politics, how it plays in Liberia. The legislatures are covered during going to session and doing session after session, whatever it is.
Yeah.
No. And those guys can play anything after the session while you're on your way, while you're home, while you're drinking something, while you're talking something, somebody can play something on you. So they
but everybody playing on each other. I mean, I'm part of
they got a law on his side. I'm talking about you want the way they do.
That was a crime.
Friends are right because it's the same guys, in my opinion, it's the same guys that when the capital building, then they flick it on the minority, say that them. And only the minority can go to court. The minority can go to court. You see? So Francis, I agree with Francis on this. Because the law on their side,
the man was manhandled. What happened to him? Nothing.
But anyway, the whole from my side, my final cut on this thing is, I'm not, I have, like I said, I'm not old enough, but I've lived long enough to see a lot of things. What you think you're doing today in your favor, when it's in your favor, it may just turn against you tomorrow. And the precedent that has been set today, and who knows? They say the government said 5 years ago, Rachel Kun will overthrow for over today, but who knows that nobody can overthrow him too. So we have seen coups and military and counter-military coups in Africa, where one president will overthrow, after a war they come and overthrow him. So we see it, and when it's happening for my man, that when blind people can, on top of blind, not the physical blind, but the blind minded people. Imagine do okay trouble. And I tell about the strongest man, what happened? The king of
Richard Kun got 5 million. Is here? Richard Kun got 5 million. He broke a horse and built a new horse. So somebody in there said, let me play cool too and remove Richard Kun. I want 5 million too.
Yeah.
So that's a
so when do overthrow trouble, everybody said, oh, do all the strongest man. Nobody can do nothing to do. Sweet. The king of Muhi. Then I brought the war, all the war fashion I brought the war. Today we can't hear about that. Then
but we're not gonna go that route. No,
No, no, no. I'm not talking about war. I'm not talking about war. What I'm saying,
or coup
nothing.
d'etat, nothing. No.
Yeah, nothing can last forever. Why you think you're doing something evil to
Yeah,
somebody? It will come right back
2029
to you.
coming. That will be the turning point.
See, so for me, my point here is the bad precedent that has been set. Everybody will want to follow it.
I
That bad
agree.
precedent. Uh-huh. Well, Paul, let's move on, man.
Okay, let's close, but man, nothing else. I think it was a good
Exactly.
show,
Today
man.
Friday, bro. Let's call it a day.
Oh, Francis, you win, man. Today, Friday,
I mean,
you going
you
off?
already, you already in your mood, in your bar already. Make a, you can go out.
But anyway, we want to say thank you very much for watching us. For those of you who joined us the first time today, this is what we do here. We share fun after we come on every Tuesday and Friday. So we work the whole week. Friday, we come here and close the week with our discussions about Liberia. And Tuesday we come back again after the weekend. We come back Tuesday, and then we bring out more discussions. And we've been talking today about the pending Supreme Court ruling, or should I say ruling or decision that will be making uh, on a bill of clarification, or how you call it, bill of what that that is before them now.
A bit of information.
Yeah, a bit of information. And what we have been brainstorming on, none of us here, the three of us here, do not have any definite answer to what we expect from the Supreme Court. But we've just been brainstorming. Will they come back and reinforce their first decision? That is, the people in the house should go back and do things properly? Or if they say that, will the leadership in the house now, the current leadership, take that risk to say, well, we're going to do things properly after he had tasted power? All these things are happening under him, presiding over budget, all these things. So we just storming our brains here on those things, but we have to wait until Monday. And of course, we're looking at the international front where, the confusion in Ukraine, world leaders are being involved. Donald Trump has been very actively involved for the fact that, he's even cutting off information, providing information to Ukraine, that is intelligence and whatever, all of things. So we'll be here on Tuesday. Like we said, we're going to have guests here on Tuesday, so you can join us. It's going to be a full house. God willing, we'll have 4 people plus the 3 of us will be 7 people here talking, and you can learn a lot from 7 people when they're talking. So, Francis and Paul, this is a weekend. I think we got to take a night off now, like we said. But any final word to our guests? I mean, our viewers.
Yeah, for me, I would be the first to go. I mean,
Yeah,
the show was very healthy. It was, interesting. I like the level of exchanges. We all have our own view. Uh, you know, and look, we look forward to Monday. Nothing gonna change. It's gonna be the same for me. And as we listen to Trump, I don't know where the man stands. I think we call they got our word. They call it. I don't know. She right there. Y'all help me. I mean, he says things and he forgets, and he do not know where he stands. It's a psychological word. I don't want to use him as a president before I apply for my visa. They didn't get to me.
No,
So
man, you can be in America. Say you tell anything, they can't do nothing to you.
no, that man, yeah, right now, man, he say he's gonna put sanctions on Russia. It doesn't make any sense. Did not make no.
yeah.
Sack or something, so they leave it that way. So, but man, it was a good show, guys.
No, I
Let's
think
go
what
have a
happened,
weekend.
Friends, what happened? He say you post sanction because the meeting in Saudi Arabia,
Saudi Arabia.
he and Zelensky, they having meetings. Yeah,
They
so
wouldn't
that's
be
why
there.
he coming out with all this because
The presidents won't be there
Eh?
according to the information. No, the presidents wouldn't be there. It would be only
okay.
the emissaries and the
Okay.
ministers and
I
stuff will
think
be
the
there.
foreign ministers.
Right. Yeah, so maybe say he gonna sign a mineral things, he had to start talking the other way. That Trump, the guy, I call him a crazy man. So yeah, but I think it was a good show. The discussion was good, but on the Supreme Court thing, from the speculation that been happening in Liberia that the host want to impeach the justice minister. So maybe it's about time that the post saying in Rachel Kun Gary that I see it from a common point of view because
The
this
Chief
noise that is going
Justice.
to the chief justice, yeah, there's noise in the town that a majority block want to impeach her. So if that's rumor is true, I think if it's reaching to her, they will gather and then post saying in Rachel Kun Gary before and see how the noise will happen in our clear view. If that's going to happen, I think this is the way forward. You do me, I do you. So that's Liberia. Say will be for because she offered retirement. I think she's 70 now. She's stepping down sometime this year. So why not go for the bull, go for the kill, and don't give a damn. Just say the truth where it is, and then let the country become more noisy. And me, I got a massive television. I'm going to put my filter and start bringing my Bandy Percy that well live for is doing on the show tonight and just put my feet up and relax. So Monday I'll be laughing,
I
man.
drinking I Coca-Cola drinking yeah about it.
Oh,
Well, guys, I think it was social. Well, anyway, you see, the thing is,
guys.
get a Coca-Cola body here, you can
yeah,
see it.
man. So,
Yeah.
so that was
See you
it.
guys,
So
guys.
before, back to you.
Well, today is Friday. Anyway, guys, today is Friday. Sometimes they say, oh, what if I play make jack or doorball?
Yeah,
And all play
definitely.
without work make jack or doorball. So sometimes you gotta chill, man. But we want to say thank you guys. Those of you let's just recognize one or two people here, or Bataki, of course, our man from Belgium was here, and also Chadera Chiripe Brown was here, or Brown Chiripe was here. And there are other people on the show now. Plenty, but I can see your name because it's not appearing on my board, but we welcome all of you. Be with us on Tuesday. We're gonna have guests there, like we said, and it'll be very interesting discussions. And this is how we'll like you leave you on this particular Friday evening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.